Perfect Companions by Godzillawolf. Chapter 1. Mare's Best Friend.
Okay, now please hold still.
Said Fluttershy's soft, gentle voice as he let the little fox's paw lay over her hoof. A good-sized thorn lodged in the pad, exposed.
This will only hurt for a second, I promise.
She said, keeping her relaxed, gentle tone that seemed to be her default. With the utmost care, the pegasus leaned down and gently took the top of the horn in her teeth. With a quick motion, she pulled the thorn out. Before the fox could react, it pulled her close to comfort it.
There. Does that feel better?
She asked, lowering her head to receive a nuzzle from the graceful little vixen.
You're welcome, Violet. It wasn't any trouble.
As Violet moved off, Fluttershy looked up at all the animals that dwelled within her home. There were so many that most ponies wondered how she managed to take care of them all, let alone remember the names of each and every one of them. The truth was, Fluttershy honestly couldn't imagine her life without all her animal friends. She took care of them, and when she needed them, they returned her kindness. Like when she was upset being too weak to help with the tornado. After she broke down, when she ran off and cried her eyes out, they all came to help her. They consoled her and helped her train. Sure, it hadn't gotten her as high as she wanted, but they'd done all they could to help her. She always thought she would make a bond with the animals, but that movement had proven to her they cared for her just as much as she cared for them. It made her feel warm inside just thinking about it. Fluttershy was distracted from her thoughts by a knock on the door. Causing her to give a tiny squeak, it jumped to the ceiling in surprise.
Oh, I'm coming.
She called, well, as loudly as Fluttershy ever spoke under normal circumstances. She tried over the door, seeing no reason to fly in her own home. It wasn't like she didn't like to fly. She loved it as much as the next Pegasus, but she just liked feeling the ground beneath her hooves most of the time. She loved the clouds, she really did, but solid earth felt just so much more safer. She carefully opened the door to find Applejack standing before her.
Oh, hello, Applejack.
Fluttershy started, but stopped, sniffing slightly. She gave a disgusted grimace as her nose registered a strong, horrible stench in the air. She knew exactly what it was from the moment she smelled it. When she looked down, saw a rather miserable-looking Winona sitting next to Applejack. It wasn't hard to guess what happened. Fluttershy quickly covered her nose with her hoof as she looked at Applejack.
Did Winona get sprayed by a skunk?
She asked quietly, giving out several coughs from the strong, horrid aura as she spoke. Applejack, her own hoof over her nose, gave a nod. Yeah, we were taking a look and she saw something in the bushes and took off after it. The airplane replied, looking pretty miserable herself. She was looking a little green around the gills. I can't tell her. She got a real noseful. Poor darling, she said, looking down at her dog. I liked her to put her paws over her nose, whimpering softly. Ears pinned between her tail of her legs. Elsa gave a sympathetic look to her companion before looking up at Fluttershy. We will give her a bath ourselves, but Grace spent $2 mansions on the sap apple trees. Fluttershy blinked slightly. The sensation of tears down her cheeks lured her to the fact her ears were watering.
If you don't mind me asking, why did she do that?
Applejack shrugged. I don't rightly know, but I reckon Granny Smith knows what she's doing when it comes to sap apples. Anyway, I could have just ran to the market and get some more, but I didn't want Winona to suffer any longer than she has to. And your place was closer. It ain't too much trouble. Could you spare some tomato juice? Fluttershy gave an understanding nod and a light cough.
I understand, Applejack,
She said, giving a genuine smile.
well, love a few skunks. I always keep some in case one of them gets startled, but mixing in a few herbal ingredients Sakura gave you will make it work better.
She said, very hesitantly taking her hoof off her nose and giving a gag before turning and walking over to a cabinet, and pulling out a metal tub with her teeth.
Did you wash her eyes out?
She asked softly, then looked at Angel, about the only one of her animals who hadn't fled to the backyard to escape the skunk smell. Instead, he just held his hose and watched Winona, looking a little concerned for the poor dog.
Angel, if it's not too much trouble, could you please go get some cans of tomato juice and open them, please?
Angel nodded, hopping out to follow his owner's command without hesitation. Fluttershy wasn't that surprised. So he had noticed that 6 pets, now 7, was Spike's new baby pet Phoenix. Got along rather well. Even Opal, while still very aggressive, at least tolerated the others' presence on punny pet play dates, and the others seemed pretty friendly with each other. Winona always seemed to enjoy them a great deal, loving the opportunity to just play with her owner and make friends with the other animals, being a friendly, very friendly dog in general. Angel had been hesitant to be around her at first. Dogs and rabbits just didn't get quite along. But after a while, the two of them had become very good friends. Elsa directed her dog over to the tub, before sitting down and covering her nose again, as soon as she was capable of doing so. Being a quadruped who needed all 4 hooves on the ground to walk properly had its disadvantages. Yeah, that was the first thing I did when I got her home. I know that still seems something awful when it gets in your eyes, she said, not only petting Winona to comfort her to avoid getting musk on herself. She looked down at her old friend with concern. He'll be all right, Winona. You know Fluttershy will take good care of you. Fluttershy gave a nod and mixed the herbs in the cans of tomato juice that Angel brought over. She poured the first can of tomato juice on the collie and began to rub it down into her brown and white fur with her hoof. Though, at the moment, the white on her muzzle and chest was tinted slightly from yellow from the musk.
Poor baby. I know it's awful.
She said as calmly as she could. Angel assisted her with a sponge attached to a broom she kept for times like this. You got that right. Piggy! Applejack exclaimed, giving a grimace, her eyes watering a little. Those little critters can sure kick up a big stink. No wonder even bears don't want to tangle with them. Fluttershy nodded.
It's because they need a good defense. After all, they are very big and can't run very fast. They need something to protect themselves,
she explained, pouring another can of tomato juice on Winona and continuing to clean her. Truth be told, she liked skunks. They were kind of like her. They didn't fight unless they absolutely had to, and when they did, they truly didn't hurt the other animal. Just sent it running. They even both had a weapon. They don't really like using it, they can help it. They had their musk, and she had to stare.
It smells a lot worse than it does to her than it does to us. Ponies have very sensitive noses, but canines can even have a stronger sense of smell. To us, it's bad, but to her, this is like torture.
Applejack nodded, giving Winona a sad look. I know. That's why I tried to get to her so quick. Fluttershy gave a nod as she looked down at the beautiful coat of a collie. She could tell, even through the layer of tomato juice, that Applejack must have taken good care of the little dog's coat. As she moved her hose gently over the tiny body, she could tell she was in very good condition. Looking up, she saw Applejack's synthetic look to her little dog. It was clear that she meant a lot to the farmer pony. From what she heard, discord had swept Winona and Macintosh's minds during his reign, but that hadn't affected the Apple family's love of their canine friend that much, even if Big Mac did need some time to recover from the experience. That's when a thought occurred to Fluttershy.
Applejack, if you don't mind me asking, how did you get Winona?
Fluttershy asked, her voice timid and soft. It just now hit her, for all the care she gave to Winona, a fact most friends' pets, she never thought to ask where she got them. Not every creature told you their entire life story when you met them like Spike had.
You don't have to tell me. I'm curious.
Applejack blinked in surprise at the question. Oh, it's no problem, Sugar Cube, she replied, giving a rather bittersweet look. I don't mind telling you. First I saw Applejack's expression.
Oh, it's fine. You don't really have to if you don't want to.
She replied apologetically as she continued working on Winona. Applejack shook her head. Nah, I don't mind. I was just thinking about some sad times is all. Who knows? Maybe it'll do me some good to talk about them after all this time. Anyway, it wasn't long after Apple Bloom was born. Applejack was just a teenager, bucking an apple tree, filling a basket, then hauling him to the proper place, where Big Mac carried them from there. Even back then, we apples were hard workers. But you see, our folks, they had a child that made the terrible lot all over Equestria. I know farmers a lot of physical work, but it's also business, Fluttershy. Back then, lots of other sweet apple acres all over Equestria were just getting started. My parents were the owners of the original sweet apple acres. They had the most experience outside Granny Smith, so you couldn't train that much no more. So the apple family elected Mom and Pa as the basis of all of them. Eventually, that made the job would just come down to monitoring their progress by mail, mostly by only helping them when they and if they needed it. In those early years, it was a lot of horizontal training and a lot of other families to run their farms. We didn't see them all that often. Their job was important. The family really needed them, and the other farms were going to succeed. We couldn't turn our backs on our kin. Well, that didn't mean it hurt any less when they had to go work on our birthdays. At the time, they'd been called away on emergencies on my birthday 2 years in a row. Applejack watched Apple Bloom, just a little full, barely weaned, curled asleep in her crib. No! Hugging a stuffed animal. Applejack looked at Big Macintosh, who even then was considerably larger to her. Big Macintosh? Will Mom and Pa be here for my birthday tomorrow? Big Macintosh looked down at the pleading eyes of his baby sister and gave a smile. Yup. Applejack gave a side shout, leaving shut by Granny Smith, who pointed to the sleepy Apple Bloom. Applejack returned a nervous smile and hugged her big brother. I can't tell you how happy I was, Fluttershy. After 2 years, my parents would finally be there for my birthday, and only get better. Applejack ran up and hugged a big red strong stallion with an apple and calculator for a cutie mark, who hugged his started back, yellow mane tickling the mare's face as he was careful to avoid knocking his hat off. See her mother. Applejack released her father and embraced her mother. Her mother looked almost exactly like her color, only ever so slightly darker and having 5 apples for her cutie mark instead of 3, a blue bow on her tail. She kept her hair down instead of a ponytail like her daughter. Dad's name was Big Red. He was Granny Smith's son. My mom was named Applejack too. It's kind of an ancestral name. I don't know how far back it goes, but it's been tradition on Mom's side to name your eldest daughter Applejack. Oh, Applejack, you sure are kind of strong, her mother said, smiling to the horse mare. Have you loved taking good care of your sister? Applejack nodded. Sure I have. She's doing just fine, Mom. Her father nodded. Where's our Applejack? Most dependable of ponies, he said proudly, messing up her mane and taking the hat off his head, sticking her hairs in the process. Happy birthday, Applejack. We're sorry we missed your last two, he said, clear on his face. Well, it's all right, said Applejack, trying not to look upset. I know your job's important and all. The elder Applejack hugged her younger. That's no excuse, but we got you something we all hope you make it up to you. Big Fred put a hoof to his hips and whistled. Applejack blinked, then looked at the wagon her parents had come in, just in time for a little border collie to come running out and tackle her. Her name is Winona. We thought you could use a little more company around here while we're gone. And once the kids like her, you can even help her around the farm, the elder Applejack said, smiling once the scene. Applejack laughed as the little puppy licked her face and wagged her tail. Applejack looked at the little collie and smiled. Winona, this looks great. I like it so much, she said, giving a chuckle as the pup licked her nose again. Ah, stop it with the diabetes! This fix gonna kill me. Rest of the day went perfect. All of it. We had a big party. Pinkie Pie wasn't around yet to throw it, but we made do. The day was just wonderful. But like the old saying goes, all things must come to an end. I only wish that day was all that ended. A few weeks later, Applejack peeked out the window to see a grim-faced stallion dressed in a black suit, and Granny Smith a big Macintosh letter in her father's hat. She couldn't hear what was going on, but she could see the both of them shot, then start crying. After a bit, they came in. Applejack looked at her brother, who had more of a broken week as he had ever seen him. Felt her heart sink. Like Macintosh? What happened? She asked, now fearing the answer. Sensing her worry, Winona stayed right next to Applejack, looking up to her with worry in her eyes. Big Macintosh looked at her sister, big tears in his eyes. Applejack. Mom and Dad. They... He tried to say, but he couldn't bring himself to say the last horrible words. Applejack felt like she suddenly had ice in her veins. Just looking into her eyes, he could see the truth. They're not coming back. Are they? She asked, as if numb all over, as if her heart stopped. Instead of his typical yup, Big Macintosh merely nodded grimly. Applejack sunk into a sitting position. big Megatron's catching his sister as she fell forwards, broke down crying. Winona gave a soft whine, snuggled up to her owners to do what she could to give them comfort. Applejack ran her huff around her and pulled her closer as she sobbed. There been an accident, said Applejack, holding her hat to her chest, her father's hat. Her voice cracking as she spoke. Now her eyes were full of tears, and it wasn't from the sharp, still lingering scent of skunk spray in the air. Well, that was the last birthday I ever spent with my parents. And Winona was the last birthday present they ever gave me. Fluttershy struggled to avoid crying herself. No easy task for the timid Pegasus. It was hard to watch the strong-willed Applejack brought to tears by a memory of a personal tragedy. It hurt to watch. But Fluttershy was the element of kindness. Right now, the kind thing to do wasn't break down crying at the sad story. She also has to tell Applejack was trying to resist crying openly. She didn't want to make this harder than it should be. She turned and hugged Applejack gently, not saying a word, just being there for her. Applejack finally stopped holding in her tears and cried on Fluttershy's shoulder as he returned the hug. For a short while, Fluttershy spoke.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
No, it's all right, Applejack replied after a few silent moments, letting her tears flow as she did her best to comfort her. She looked at her friend, giving a smile. I think it did good, and we good to talk about. Thanks for listening, she said, snuffling a little and blinking away the remaining tears. She looked down as Winona screamed her way in between the two, and still, dripping with demands, used nuzzled her owner to comfort her. Applejack smiled and pet the collie's head with her hoof. They're right. Winona did keep me company while they were gone. I needed all the family I could get. And she's feeling it too. First I smiled, watching the collie look into her owner's face.
I understand. My animals are my family, too.
Applejack nodded, giving a smile to her friend. I know. I don't think there's a man alive who knows what I'm saying better than you, Fluttershy, she said, feeling better just having talked with her pain with her friend and listened. Thanks for being my shoulder to cry on. And thanks for cleaning up Winona. It means an awful lot. First I nodded with a blessed gratitude.
It was nothing. Any good friend would do the same. If I rust her off, then I can make some tea. If you're okay with that. I mean, it's up to you.
Applejack smiled. Sounds fine to me. As they watched Winona off, Fluttershy thought about what she had learned. She never even thought about how much you could learn about some pony just from their pet. Getting tanked showed that Rainbow Dash had cared more about loyalty than speed, coolness, and raggedness. Finding out Alicia's had brought to light just how much Twilight really cared about Spike, leading her to taking on a dragon, Fluttershy started a thought, to save him. Now Alicia's by her side to do it. Getting Pee-wee had shown Spike had a good heart for refusing to sink to those teenage dragons' level, even though he knew they'd probably do to him for it. As he discovered Winona was a comforter that came when Applejack had a dark point in her life that needed it the most. First I wondered what stories her other two friends as pets had behind them. Chapter 2. Cat out of the bag. Oh, there's a picture of Fluttershy nuzzling with opalescence on this chapter. Oh, it's so cute! Sorry. Fluttershy gently trotted along through Ponyville on her way to Carousel Boutique, her saddlebags full of animal care supplies. Well, she wasn't normally one to be preoccupied by things, except when dragons, Turquoise, her own shadow, and, well, many of her other phobias were involved. She couldn't get her mind off a meeting with Applejack earlier that day. All this time they'd known each other. She'd never known Applejack had lost her parents at a young age. That, or Winona had been their last gift to her. It stuck in her mind as strange that, either as a friend or animal caretaker, she never heard these things at all.
I suppose he had no reason to tell me. I'm just happy having some pony listen and help her.
The timid Pegasus whispered to herself. She was normally one to just let sleeping dogs lie, but her curiosity had been piqued. Even the most timid of ponies had to learn about things. She arrived at the door boutique, seeing the door was open and heading in. Rarity, as per usual, was busy working on her dresses of all types. First, I was so amazed by Rarity's design work, in part due to her own freaky knowledge of sewing. While the others had little knowledge of actual sewing, Fluttershy did, and appreciated more when she saw it done well.
Hello, Rarity. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were busy. I can come back later.
Fluttershy said, getting ready to leave.
No, it's quite all right, Fluttershy.
Rarity said, returning a smile.
These dresses are already done. I'm just putting the final touches on them.
The dressmaker explained.
Though, I must say, it surprised me that you wanted to examine Opal here instead of your house as usual. Is something wrong, darling? Oh, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, Rarity. I really am. But Winona was sprayed by a skunk earlier, and Applejack brought her to me for a bath. So my house is still airing out.
Rarity gave a gag.
I understand. Then no harm done, darling. I don't mind letting you give my niece Opal to check up here,
she said, giving her friend a smile. Fluttershy gave a small smile, glad there was no trouble.
All right. Where is she? Opal, come here, please. Fluttershy's here.
Rarity called, using the same voice he always did with Opal, acting like he was speaking to a child. Fluttershy knew that Opal didn't particularly like it, but it was often difficult to convince Rarity of something. The white feline yawned, coming into the room and stretching. Opal walked over and rubbed against Fluttershy's legs, purring.
Hello there, Opal. Your fur is looking lovely today,
she said politely. Opal and Rarity's relationship was strange. Fluttershy could tell they genuinely did care for about one another, and since Opal was temperamental and Rarity could be a little overly dramatic. Fluttershy watched Opal's eyes and noticed her look at Rarity's eyes. Despite all the problems between them, Rarity's design did seem to be something Opal had at least some interest in. Fluttershy thought Opal was kind of like Rainbow Dash. She had it kind of rough on the outside, but had a good heart underneath it all. Another piece that showed that at play dates. Well, at first, Opal had been aggressive to the other animals. In fact, the others were terrified at her first. Now she seemed to somewhat enjoy it. It was one of the only places her and Rarity seemed to be at peace with each other openly. Fluttershy gently put Opal on a table and looked her over. While Fluttershy did give Opal baths, Rarity was her primary caretaker, and the animal's coat had told a lot about how well they were cared for. Opal was absolutely gorgeous and well maintained. It's clear she was being fed properly. Despite looking fat, Opal wasn't actually overweight. Most of it was fur. Rarity made sure to feed her just the right amount, which did surprise Fluttershy too much. Rarity was always so meticulous.
She's a beautiful cat, Rarity,
said Fluttershy, petting Opal's head and listening to the feline purr.
Thank you, Fluttershy. I do my best to take care of my little Opal.
The fashionista replied, smiling to Opal.
I know she's given me a fair share of scratches, but I still love her to pieces.
Fluttershy nodded, taking the Persian over. She thought back to her discussion with Applejack, and once more the Pegasus' curiosity got the better of her.
Rarity? Yes, darling,
the unicorn asked, looking up from Opal to meet Fluttershy's eyes.
If you don't mind, I mean, you really don't have to, but...
the shy pony replied.
How exactly did you get Opal?
Opal and Rarity both blinked and looked at Fluttershy, making the Pegasus a little uncomfortable.
Pardon, dear? I just wanted to know how you got Opal,
said Fluttershy, hiding behind her mane.
It's just, I go with everybody's pets, and we're all friends, and I don't know how you got Opal. I'm just curious. I'm sorry if you don't want to tell me. I shouldn't have asked. I'll just continue examining Opal. Oh no, it's quite fine, dear,
Rarity said, giving her timid friend a smile.
I don't mind telling you at all. Oh, thank you.
Rarity cleared her throat as she began a story. A young Rarity, not even having her cutie mark yet, sat with her parents in a rather run-down-looking house. Her mother putting a plate of burnt oatmeal in front of her, somehow having to manage to burn the juice, much to Rarity's disgust.
It may come as a surprise to you, Fluttershy, but I do not come from old money. We were actually very poor when I was growing up in a suburb outside of Manhattan. Father had hoped to be picked up for a professional sports team out of college, but he ended up having a number of setbacks. Mother tried her best to support us, but they didn't have much money after buying what house they could afford.
Rarity sat on a curb, holding a book or speaking with a refined air. A rather large unicorn colt came over and pulled it from her grasp with light blue telekinesis.
Hey, get that back!
The colt held her back with a hoof on her forehead.
And ain't that cute? Poor little Freddy wants her book back. How you get it? I didn't know your family had enough money to buy anything, he mocked. Why did the trash? Nah, I bet you just stole it, he continued.
He pushed her down, causing her to cry out in pain as he hit the back of her head off the curb, and had to walk off. started to bug in her face as she held her head and began to cry.
I
Was picked on quite often by the neighborhood folks for it. While most folks are perfectly nice, some folks are cruel, especially when they are bigger than you and find something that hurts you. Oh, I'm sorry, Fluttershy. You know that all too well. The girls who bullied me were my age and were the easiest to deal with. I wasn't that old or wealthy, but not to brag, I've always been a pretty fitty. A couple of colts her own age were playing keep away with her backpack. Rarity got a cunning look and walked up to one of them with a flirtatious look in her eyes.
My, what a strong colt you are. Do you really need to pick on a little girl to make yourself feel big?
Sure enough, the colt blushed and began to talk with her until finally she convinced her to hand back the bag, with a foot of the eyelashes.
However, some bullies were much bigger than myself, and my looks couldn't diffuse the situation.
And of course, there were girls who picked on me as well, despite it being uncouth, and there were colts ready to hit a little fitty as well, so my father had a solution. The same older colt from before took her book again, holding her host's leg once more. However, when he pushed her, she grabbed his leg and put her hind legs to his gut, flipping over her into a bush, the book landing next to her. She then took a martial arts type pose towards his flunkies, causing them to run away.
You may have noticed, darling, but my father had me take martial arts from a friend of his.
His name was Steve. Ow! Said Rarity, looking to Fluttershy.
I do believe he is Ponyville now. He's hard to miss.
Great big muscles, tiny wings, bulk biceps!
So that's how you knew how to fight so well when we fought changelings.
Fluttershy said, surprised. Sure, Fluttershy knew she herself had done all right, but she merely blended in to trick the changelings, and frequently tricked them while countering. Those things had not been very smart.
I know it surprises Pony when they find out a lady like me knows how to fight.
But when you grow up around here, around lots of folks that want to hurt you, any chance they get,
you need to know how to defend yourself.
I never used that on my chance to play ponies, only for my own protection, mostly. But I certainly did become a bully. I wasn't about to do to others what they had done to me. First, I didn't know if she agreed or not. Truth be told, she hated the very idea of fighting. Even as she seen with her very old eyes, it was needed sometimes.
Please continue.
Oh, right. Sorry for rambling, darling. Rarity came running home to a hug from her parents, with their new cutie mark of pride.
Our forces began to turn up when I earned my cutie mark.
Rarity sold gems to people in the neighborhood, as well as work on modifying dresses for her ponies for a fee.
It's how I began working as a fashionista, and the money I earned, along with Mother getting a promotion at work, finally got us enough money to afford fixing up the house. With just enough money left over for my quinceañera, I couldn't have been happier, but fate had other things in store.
Rarity tried over to her parents along a road in the rain, Mother keeping an umbrella over the three of them with her magic. Rarity had her head held high, elated. As they tried along, Rarity's eyes caught sight of a cardboard box on the side of a sidewalk. The little filly stopped and peeked over. A tiny white Persian kitten sitting shivering in the box, giving a little miserable meow. On the sign said, "Free to good homes." Rarity frowned.
Oh, you poor baby, all alone in the rain,
She said, looking down at the little thing with sympathy.
I know how it feels not to have much.
She said, then looked to her parents, who were waiting for her. She looked back at the kitten, then to her parents.
Mother, Father, can I please get this little kitten? Look at the poor thing.
The parents looked at the kitten sadly, then to each other, and then to the filly. I'm sorry, hon, but we just don't have the money for a kit right now, especially when you keep Sierra coming up, her father said sadly.
What?
I'm sorry, Rarity, but you butts. You might be able to afford to keep one if we keep things up, but we don't have the bits to get her vaccinated and see to fit right now. That's the first thing she need done, said her mother, giving a frown. Rarity frowned and headed towards her parents. Looked back at the box, then looked deep in thought, before finally looking back to her parents, determined.
Wait, I think I have an idea.
A bunch of things, I truly did. I still do. You had to want things when you had very little or nothing, and I keep Sierra was something any fool in their right mind wanted. Rarity picked up the little kitten and put her on her back, giving the little feline a kiss on the forehead, smiling, making it purr. Her parents checked the kitten over as she did so.
But that kitten needed a home more than I needed a party.
Someone to care for it, to care for her, as it turned out.
It's okay. You're coming home with me. A blessings.
Fluttershy gasped with surprise at this revelation as he realized exactly what Rarity was saying.
You,
Rarity nodded simply. Yes, I realized that night, as unfortunate as I was, someone will always be worse off than me. It also feels good to help some pony who is less fortunate than myself. Even as some pony's a little kitten, left all alone in a cardboard box in the rain. She said, lowering her muzzle to Opal, who, a bit begrudgingly, icily rubbed against her, purring. Rarity gave a small smile. Rarity was the element of generosity for a reason.
that's very kind of you, Rarity. Did you ever have a quinceañera?
Rarity shook her head, a little sadly. No, I never had one, even once my father got the football career he had been trying for and hit big. This never came up again. But every pony has a quinceañera. Opal didn't have a home. Opal gave a small smile at Rarity, who smiled back.
Well, Opal checks out perfectly. You've taken excellent care of her.
Said Fluttershy, smiling, brushing Opal a couple of times.
I'm very glad about that, Fluttershy. Say, if you have time, would you like to have us fall visit today?
Rarity said, giving her friend a smile. Fluttershy gave her a thought.
Not today, Rarity. I get to see you coming, thinking about Gummy.
She said, giving a apologetic look and trying to look smaller.
Sorry. Oh, it's fine. We can go later. Thanks for checking out Opal for me. You're quite welcome, Rarity. Thanks for the story,
Said Fluttershy, heading out the door. She'd never known Rarity was poor as a filly, or she experienced a quinceañera in her life. She even had one herself, and her childhood had been a little unorthodox. And to think, Rarity's discovery about how good it felt to give something to someone who needed it come from a pet she still doted on constantly. Just like Applejack and Winona. The story of the pet was about as much about the owner as it was the pet. Much like Opal had been reminded of how much Rarity meant to her.
Come, Opal. Maybe we should try out that dining in the swim Mama bought you.
Said Rarity in her kitty voice, prompting Opal to hiss and scratch at her.
Shh! Meow!
First he gave a sigh as he headed out. Some things never change.